Hi all. Right, let's push on with the beginning of turn 3. Got the tanks that were delayed from turn 1 to come on. So hopefully I can make a better job of it this time. So landing card for the 2 tanks in the east is as a diamond C. Not sure what I thought of that one. C's a lose step. So turn 2 and 3, we're on turn 3, yeah. So C is indeed lose a step. Oh, they're going to be both, aren't they? Because they both got delayed. Oh, that's a horrible result. So they both take a hit and land. Yeah, that was a 1 result we did not want. Because the other ones were just drifting, no effect. Oh well. Right then, okay. Better luck in the west, hopefully. Right, so now we know we don't want this a C circle, do we? Here we go. Oh. Aye, aye, aye. This isn't going too well, is it? So again, they're both taking a hit. Or losing a step, but well. Sorry, I don't need to be angling them, do I? Sometimes forget about that. There's any point in that, because nothing's going to mess that about. Well, that was awful, wasn't it? Okay. Right, let's see what we've got coming in on the next turn, and then we get them on the boxes. Okay, so in these we've got two infantry, and we've got an anti-aircraft, unarmoured anti-aircraft unit. So FG4, ER2 for the 2 infantry, and then FG5 for the anti-aircraft. There we go. Yeah, it's no point looking at other things just yet. Well, things haven't started well at all, I don't think. Right, and then over here we get our first ranged infantry, along with another infantry. We get 2 anti-aircraft units. So we've got DR1, DG2, EG3, and DW3. There we go. Okay, that's unit set up to land next turn, and we move on to an event. Right, come on, let's have an event, please. Let's have something. Aha, that's better. GI initiative allows us to have 1 extra turn in each section, isn't it? Each division. So we conduct 1 extra action this turn in each division. So I'll bring the 2 wee extra. You get 3 action markers, because when you move on to extend the game, if you get there, you get 3 actions a turn. So we're getting a wee shot of that this turn. So that will help with either some barraging or possibly moving some of these tanks. But every tank there took a hit, so that part was not so good. So it's not nice to think, but you then. Well, the thing is, if you move them into intense fire, it could be some cannon fodder, you know, that'll get hit before some other units, which again doesn't sound right. The other thing is, you maybe just leave them in the low water hexes, and then, you know, spend your. But however, we will get used to them this turn, because our infantry is still going to be doing preservation moves. So we will get 3 shots of a tank on either side, I would think. However, we've got to go through the German fire phase first, so let's get that ready to go. Right, time for some fire in the east. We have green disrupted, well, the double position of green disrupted. So if we see green, we want to see it being the double symbol. And artillery doesn't start yet It's turn 4, I think, isn't it? Tells you on the turn track, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't see it on turn 3. I'm pretty sure it's turn 4. Yeah, it will be. Okay, so let's get a card drawn. See what we get. Right. Well, no green, so that's good, I suppose. No green at all. I wouldn't have minded seeing double green, to be honest. That would have been better. But you can't have it all, Grant. Just a little will do. So we've got red, we've got purple hitting armour, and blue as well. So all them are going to fire, and they're firing at triangles. What was diamonds we seem to be getting smashed about the last turn, so however, not sporadic at least. Right, well, let's start with red since we're looking at the card in that order. So that's probably not the best position to put it. Gonna put it up there so we can have a look at the beat checks. So red's got what, 3 shots to fire? Yeah, and it's still going across the other side as well. Well. Right. So it doesn't come on here. There's just these guys down here. This is a diamond, but it's armoured as well. This is a diamond. Oops. However, now that these units across the side aren't concentrated, like I say, none of them were diamonds from the turn before. This guy's going to take a hit because he's a triangle. This guy underneath is okay, but he's still sitting in intense brown, though we've got the double position disrupted. Right, that's our first catastrophic loss unit. So that goes in here, and we get the replacement counter for F2116. So there's F2116, so I'll just put him down the bottom there. So he's took a hit this turn. And let's say our first catastrophic loss. We get 8 of these in either box and the game's over, so. Which the last turn I think we ended up with 6, but then we held off in that and we dropped back. We got one back actually because of the event. However. So yeah, there's only 1 hit for red. He's not getting at anything else. So, well, maybe not so bad. Purple next. So double purple hitting armour. At triangles though. So this guy's in sporadic. We not have a purple in. Oh yeah, we've got a result with this guy then, haven't we? Yeah, that's good. Orange didn't fire. Or green, like we said. Yeah, I thought it was just, sorry. I thought it was just this guy. I was kind of forgot all about that. So that's worked well. That's worked well. There's something. So nothing in intense purple. No. And this guy's a circle. Oh, he's getting that tank, isn't he? Yeah, he's getting this tank. Oh well, that's one less to worry about. So it's purple steady fire. It's a shape triangle, and unfortunately it's got the armor symbol, so it ignores the armor and is able to hit this tank. So that tank's gone. There we go. And then he is actually, because he's got 2 hits. So this is sporadic and a triangle, so he's going to disrupt him. Which is, it's a bit of a pain, but it means these units are going to end up together while they move into here. I'm saying that, their free move is going to end them both in there, wasn't it? So it's maybe not a big issue. No, it's not got any fire dots on it. Right, so that's the 2 purple shots fired. Right, and then we've got blue, which is here. That's sporadic circle. That is a diamond, so it's okay. That's not blue. This is blue, but I think we've looked at all this, haven't we? Yeah, diamonds. So we're okay there. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I think to be honest, that was okay. Wasn't perfect, obviously. We lost a tank, but it was probably The worst part was probably the hit across here, to be honest, but anyhow. Right, and then green was not, well, we should get used to leaving that until after artillery, however, no, we've not got artillery, have we? Right, it's just the fact that, no, yeah, because I'd be dealing with artillery now, wouldn't I? And then I would remove the disruption, right? So if green had fired, I could now remove that disruption because we don't have artillery yet. Anyway, okay. Right, let's go across to the west. Right, fire card for the west. We get, put it up there, double purple, double blue, single green. I always think the doubles are nicer to come because that does, well, we didn't get brown. Which was good. Again, I would have been happier to see a double brown because then that's a colour that doesn't do anything. We got greens with disruptions coming off. We got double purple. Yeah, I'm going to get hit there. Right, okay. So, well, actually, double purple's first anyway. So let's just look at the situation here. It's not good. This guy did get caught in intense. Yeah, we didn't want purple, did we? So he takes a hit because he's an intense. That's one. He's still got another 2 hits. Yeah, we had to go at purple, didn't we? That's a pity. If we'd caught it, if we'd got it. The thing is, if we had tried to disrupt just the single purple position, this would have still fired with 2 shots. So, but if we had got that disrupted, because it's a double, this wouldn't have actually fired and that unit would have got away with it. But the odds are pretty meh. So, triangle, sporadic. Right, no, that's a tank though. There's no armour symbol. This is unsteady, purple. This is the only other thing unsteady and it can't hit that. That's steady, so unfortunately it's going to look at the ranger. Oh, the blue's going to hit the ranger too. Right, so the purple fire is going to disrupt the ranger because he's in sporadic purple. Yeah, I think all this nonsense happened the last time to this ranger and he just didn't have any joy at all. And then we then move, that's all purple dealt with. Because yeah, I had 3 hits to dish out, but can only really do 2. Yeah, that's right. So then on to blue. So we've got double blue here, and the only position he can hit is here, and he's looking for a triangle, and what do you know? So he can actually take a hit and also take a disruption hit, which is ouch, ouch, really, isn't it? Even worse, but there you go. Right, that's all blue's doing, and then green is disrupted. So that is fine. So we're just going to remove, let's say there's no artillery, so I can remove the disruption from green while we're looking there, just because again it doesn't affect clearing the beaches as well, which is something that some folk think should be. But yeah, I like the point that guy made in that comment. That makes some kind of sense. Would have been a nice addition to the rule book, something like that, just to make it sound a bit more realistic. Okay, so that's all German fire phase. So let's see if we can clear any hexes. Okay, so this side we had red, purple, and blue. So we've got red, blue. Blue goes into there. Yeah, we're not getting nothing. It's the same as the last time, isn't it? Purple starts there and takes over. So nothing in the east. In the west we've got purple, blue and green. So blue, well sorry, that's not purple, blue here and green. Oh, we might get something out of this then. It's all over this side, isn't it? So we can clear, oh yeah, and it's 2 hexes, isn't it? We can clear any 2 hexes from here right along to, but not here or here, because red actually fired from the other side into the 2 hexes. So any of the, yeah, any of the 2 hexes, any of the 5 2, any of the 5 hexes, I can clear 2 of them. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually going to go for this one and this one. And I think my initial reasoning, my initial thinking was, oh, go for the ones with the intense fire dots. But if you got a choice of landing something, you don't really want to land them into the intense. So I think it's better to clear hexes that are hexes that you probably want to try and land in. So I dare say that's probably common sense to most folk, and I've just not really thought about it that way initially. When you understand, I suppose, how the game works and that, better. Right, so, well, that was pretty good, I suppose. Right, on to some actions first then. Okay, so, and we have 3 actions to get this time due to the event, so that's great. So that's a free action to remove disruption. This is a free action to, let's put them underneath, to move closer. A preservation move, moving closer to this hex. It does concentrate this hex, but I don't know, man. I suppose I could leave him here. Does that make any sense? Maybe it does. I think it actually does. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, you know, he can sit there. He can take a preservation move whenever he wants. I don't think there's any kind of timing over when that stops. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe some may think that is silly because stacking them together, getting them in here, then using an action for them together to move. But do I really then want to move them together as a concentrated unit, you know? So maybe not really. So I think I will. I think I'll just leave that because it is a may option. You may preservation move, and this guy's not in any fire dots. There's just not a mad rush to get them moving, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe if I thought about that differently, it would be something I should be doing, but whatever. Right, okay, let's move on. We've got 3 actions, but they're all going to be tank actions anyway. It's not as if I can do anything else clever. Right, so this guy, where is he moving? Well, you've got to kind of think he's wanting to get in here, eh? Have a go at this. Now, this tank, what can he hit orange? No, he can't. Mind you, this is in orange and purple, isn't it? So, this guy can have a go at orange or purple. He's 2 strength, they're both depth marked hexes. So, okay, this guy's getting out of trouble. He's moving it there. This looks good. Because although it's 2 actions, we could have 6 strength attacking that hex next turn. That is the 2 actions though. It would have been nice this turn with having the extra action. And of course, so preservation move into here. Then next turn I would want an action to have a go at that as well, wouldn't I? Right, hang on. Just make sure you're. This guy can only barrage green. That's not awful though. That isn't awful. Because the double position, the double hex is disrupted, so and would get away with. It's in red and blue. Could have a go at the blue, I suppose. Well, he can have a shot at green too. Right, let's make sure you're getting this right, Grant. Okay, ended up being paused there for a good bit, so just trying to get back to what I was looking at. I think I just moved this unit and yeah, I was talking about the possibility of attacking this green position. However, just as well, maybe pause for a bit. Had a couple of comments. Made a mistake already. That's not a good sign, is it? I can only think maybe I was just trying to figure, maybe just try to rush things a little bit. Use the excuses coming. Here they come. Who can I blame this time? Just feel maybe I'm rushing a little bit. Now hopefully I can fix it. It was the event. So the event, second turn event. So we're going back a bit. So fingers crossed I can fix it. Anyway, I had it was a depth marker. I placed a depth marker and I placed it on this, and this position was actually closer. It was only 3 hexes away. The blue position was 4 hexes away, and it was the green position here, I believe. Now was it? Yeah, it was because it was single positions. I think that's what threw me. But I better just go back and double check the video just to make sure. It was Martin that brought this up. But he says it's kind of good news because blue wouldn't have fired. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look back and see if I can sort of. Hopefully things haven't moved on enough to make a mess of things here. Yeah, and like I say, I think it was because blue was a single position, and I just because this was a double position. But however, this position was at the first priority is closest to a US unit. Let me just see 9.2. Yeah, choose a German unit closest in hexes to a US unit. This is at depth. So that's what you're looking at first. It doesn't matter about anything else. And this was 3 away, and the other 2 options were 4 away. So it should have been placed here. Okay, I will need to look back and just see if that's maybe messed things up. It's certainly going to alter a couple of things, so let's see if I can fix it. Okay, so I had a look at that, so hopefully, I don't like having to backtrack, but if a mistake can be fixed without causing any grief, then, which I think it can, and this is one that benefits me. In actual fact, it's a big benefit. If you recall, we'll get the fire card. I mean, like I say, it was that card there. This is what we had as a fire, and this was like I say, turn 2, the German fire phase. After obviously the event that's put the depth marker on this blue position that should, well, I'm just going to move it now and hopefully we can get away with this. It should have been put on this green position. So I'm going to adjust that. I'm just going to use the same depth marker because we've not seen it or anything. There's nothing new, nothing being shown there. However, this unit has just made a preservation move, so I'll just put him back to there just now. So that's where it would have been at the start of turn 3. But he had been in here to start with, and if you recall, well, I certainly recall being frustrated that double blue had turned up and I had just put a depth marker on this position. And I even made the comment that if that hadn't received the depth marker, blue wouldn't be firing. However, now the mistake's there, blue wouldn't be firing. So this unit wouldn't have taken the hit, because this is the unit that obviously matches the symbol. He was in blue, but blue wouldn't fire now. So then with that, I then had moved him here with the preservation move, and then the fire card for this turn Oh, hold on. Green mustn't have fired. No, it didn't. That's right, that's right. So the fire card in the east this turn was this card. So it's had no effect at all because green has not fired. Blue... Oh! Oh no, it's a triangle. We're okay. We're okay. I was just thinking he's getting them now because blue... But, I mean, he would have hit him again if that was the case, wouldn't he? But it's a triangle this time. So, blue... triangle, well, did he not hit anything? No, he didn't, did he? Obviously got lucky over that one. Yeah, no triangles. Yeah, and then obviously red fired, purple fired, but there was no green fire, so this still being a double unit had nothing. It didn't mean that it would have fired, you know, or anything different. There's nothing changed there. We haven't tried to disrupt it or anything. So, and then just this turn now, so we avoided getting hit here because green didn't fire. We were in intense green. We've now moved into that position. So rather than being 4 strength, we're now 6 strength. So thanks for bringing that one up, Martin. And hopefully I just about caught that in time, shall we say. I mean, I know it's rewinding a little bit, but I'm okay with it as long as there's no new information or it's... I mean, the only thing you could say is if he hadn't taken a hit, would I still move that into there? Well, the answer's still clear. To me, you've just got to believe me that, yes, I would. Of course I would. I would still preservation move it in here because I disrupted green, the double position. Well, there you go. I disrupted one double position, but there would have been another double position, so there's a point. There's a point to possibly argue there. However, I still feel, I think even I was talking about it before even making the barrage, that this is clearly the safer hex. And I got some advice for the guys in the previous game that, to be honest, I thought the games I'd played before I had put into effect. Now, obviously none of them were recorded, but I realised that preservation moves were something that you should just do. It's not... You know, occasionally there might be a time you need to think about it and say, well, and there's possibly some times where it might not be the best thing. Well, there's an occasion there where I've felt like just holding that guy back, but he's in a nice safe hex, you know. This guy sits here, he's still sitting in green and blue steady fire. So if green fires with a diamond, he's still getting hit, you know. So you'll just have to believe in the fact that, I mean, this tank, you could only barrage green anyway, so, you know, a barrage green, I know I've still got a double green, that's not something I would see as being brilliant, because it's still leaving double green. I'm just going to have to go with that, I can't, yeah, there's a slight sour taste in my mouth about that, but, I mean, I don't think I would. Yeah. To be honest, that's not great, really. I don't want to start again. I feel like that's the only thing I could do. I'm just thinking to myself here, if I knew, if this was a position, sorry, where were we? We were... No. Yeah, if this was the position of turn 2, would I have used that tank to barrage that green spot? I mean, the biggest reason I done it was because it was only leaving 1 unit in there. Now there is 2 in there. It feels like a bit pointless. But I had no full strength tanks elsewhere. That's the only full strength tank that I had. And he is in green. He can only barrage green. So it's either that one or that one I can go for. Or I ignore barrage completely and I move. Well, you know what? That would... well, there you go, actually. If I had decided, right, let's just move. Let's just take a chance and move into here with this tank. Let's not barrage. And let's infiltration, preservation move this guy into here. Now we're in this turn here now, right? And we're sitting here, and green never fired. So now I'm in here with this guy, and I'm in here with this tank, because I'm using an action on that, definitely. So, in actual fact, if I had chose not to go for the barrage, it would have worked out better. Okay, that makes me feel better. Right? I hope you all understand what I'm going on about there, but it's just that part of me feels like, would I bother barraging green because I'm leaving double green anyway? So, and what I've just explained to you is, I might have well just thought, let's just advance the tank. Let's just move it and take a chance here. Hope green doesn't fire. And it, you know what? It didn't. So I would have actually benefited more. But I'm not going to rewind that, but I'm not going to try and say, oh yeah, I wouldn't have barraged that. I would just have moved into there. Because that's extra cheeky, you know. So I'm going to say that we did barrage that position. This guy was still full strength. He never got hit. He moved into here. Green did not fire. We've now moved this unit with a preservation move in turn 3 into here. And that tank had already moved. Yeah, he's sitting like that, isn't he? Right, okay, I'm just going to look back on a couple of things just to make sure that was right, and hopefully you understood what all went down there. Yeah, okay, so just looking back, and I actually make the move with the infantry unit into here before I actually do the barrage, because I clearly say, well, this is obviously the best hex. This one's worse because blues, you know, intense blue there. And okay, I suppose I was staring at the double position blue, but that's irrelevant. You're not going to move into intense green and blue when you can just move into intense green, you know. So I actually move the infantry unit first. Then my two actions of the turn are barraging this bit, and I've already went through all that. Another move was moving this unit, I think was in here, into here, because we had managed to avoid him getting hit. So, yeah, I feel okay about that, because I've actually realised that if I would taken the gamble the other way, I would have been even in a better position. So that makes me feel like, yeah, all good. Right, thanks for that, Martin. Hopefully you're not needing to look out for these things again. Yeah, just need to maybe just slow it down a little bit. Well, yeah, I was a bit daft getting caught out with that, really, wasn't it? Okay, so where were we? So I'd moved this guy. We had moved this guy, preservation move, and I decided not to move this guy. And it could be debatable either way that, but I think having these both together as we don't want them both together once they get into these hexes. We don't mind it so much in here, but why not just keep them separate just now in case I get the chance to, once he's in here, to make a move with him and leave that other guy possibly behind, you know. So I think it's worthwhile. There's not a mad rush for to get the guys moving just yet, I don't think. Saying that, you know, if this was a couple turns forward and I got the extra action to take, that would be perfect. You know, it would be the perfect time having these units in here and being able to move, you know, have an extra action to move things. Okay, right, let's see if we can get back to what we're doing. Let me just pause and gather my thoughts. Yeah, well, we're clearly wanting to move this guy out of here. And it looks like the obvious position's here, where he had then, and I'm pretty sure I almost actually made the move with him, didn't I? And then I just hesitated a bit. Because putting him here, it's not really any safer a hex, really, is it? No, it's not. It's not at all. And at least in here, well, he could have a go at this. and that they attach them on the shingles, so they don't double the depth. Is that right again, Grant? Just reminding ourselves again. Unit strength, double depth, not. So, and now that we've got this as it's 6 strength rather than which I thought was 4, and I was talking about 4 and then adding a tank to support it, you know, having an attack next turn, but it would cost me 2 actions to do that. And then I thought, oh, well, that means I've no enough actions to do 3, you know. But now, I'd be willing to have a go with this on this and this on this for my 2 actions next turn. If they're still on the 6 strength side, you know, that could change. Okay, and we've still got to remember we've got 3 actions this turn. Okay. Right. I think I maybe know what my 3 actions are going to be. And yeah, they are going to be on the tanks. This is the full strength tank, and you know, I did think, well, should we take a gamble and move on? But I think we'll have one. I think we'll try and barrage green again. And this being the double position now, I may have already talked about attacking barraging green, thinking this was a single position, but now since we know that that should have got the depth, but it's still good odds, you know, you've got 50-50. So, and then the fact we've got 3 actions, so, and then I thought, looked at the other tanks, I thought, could I make a wee gamble with one of these, but these aren't red and blue. I've got, so I'll just move along there. You know, this would be an intense red and blue, either hex that he moved into. So I thought, why not have a wee barrage at this double red position? I mean, yeah, I could go for blue. It's an easy. The odds are easier because the blue's not got depth now. Again, that's slightly new because of the mistake. But it's more than likely this unit. In fact, I don't think there's any. I can probably just move him. He's going to move into here. So if I did manage to get lucky and stop the red, then there's only the single red left. So I figured that could be a good second action. And then finally the other tank, I thought, well, he's the one that's got this move into this steady fire hex. So probably just move him. And in fact, you know what, let's just get on with things. Oops. Yeah, going to move him into there because hang on. I mean, to be honest, he's in a hex. He's in the same fire hex as what he would be in there. So is it not worth maybe a wee bash at orange or a wee bash at purple and just leave him sitting? However, we do have this extra action to maybe just move him up to the mid-tide line at the moment. I mean, I know it's only turn 3, but the tide comes in. It comes in quicker than you think. Before you know it, things are drowning. Right, you know what? I'll come back to that one because I think this one is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my first action to barrage red. I'm going to go for the double position. So we're 2 strength. So we need both. Right? We need red. We need a red diamond. Okay? So let's go for that one first. Let me get lucky. Oh! Look at that. It's a red diamond, guys. Wow. I'll take that. Right, that's excellent then. So that's that double position disrupted. We're going to... Sorry, things out of focus there. I think I focused on the card there. Yeah, we're certainly going to preservation move this guy into here. I mean, okay, it drifts into a bit of brown from the other side, but at the moment, brown on the other side, the double position's disrupted as well, so that's quite good as well. But still the safer hex to go to. So yeah, that was a good result. Just thought that there was another possibility. I was forgetting about this tank here. He could actually have a go at green as well, but the odds are just the same odds as we got there. But so it is doable, but You could have a go at blue. But, yeah. I don't fancy my luck at getting 2 of these in a turn. 2 of the barrages. So, I actually do think I'm going to move that tank. Again, maybe some of yous wouldn't do this. And would barrage either, have a go at orange or purple, but I think just having the 3rd action this turn. Right, and I am going to... we drew green again there. I'm looking at the cards again. I know, it's a big mistake. But the previous card had been green, and that card was green as well. But, well, it's going to be now or never really anyway, so... or do we take the gamble and move on? I don't think so. I think I'm going to barrage. So we're going to barrage the other double green position. So we just need green. We just need the colour. I think that's sensible because, well, here's the thing. If we get successful here, and green happens to stay down, stay disrupted, we move into our next turn. We've got 2 big 6 strength units wanting to make an attack. That's our 2 actions. And we're sitting with this tank thinking, oh, we could move them into this green position. I suppose we could do it. I mean, that, assuming they stay down, that means we could, well, what's the likelihood of it staying down 2 turns in the trot though? I don't know, maybe this is worth a gamble and just take a step forward. I don't think it is. I think we're going to go for the barrage. So we need green. Oh no. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's annoying because then you think, well, if I'd just done it the other way about, it would have been right. But yeah, it's a gamble. Okay, I think that's us. Because like I say, I don't think I'm going to move this guy. We've used our 3 actions. Yeah, okay, let's look over the west. Well, first of all, disruption comes off. Why is he? Is that hit still? That must be hits. Yeah, because I've not moved ever, and I've got. Yeah, they were hits. I've not adjusted them back. That's silly if you make the mistake with that. So it's not that I've moved these guys, and I've got the one along here as well. So all these were just tilted just to say that they had took a hit in the fire phase, so that I didn't try and hit them the second time. So this is how it should look. Yeah, okay, my bad. Right, so he gets a free action to remove his disruption. And then, what else do we do? Bear in mind, 3 actions again here. Well, this looks like a bit of a no-brainer, doesn't it? To preservation, move these guys into here. Yeah, I think that's right. Don't think there's any doubts in that one. Oh, he must have took a hit though, did he? This guy, pretty sure he must have done. Yeah, green and purple fired, didn't they? So, but this is a great hex to get into. I mean, yeah. Well, the other thing is here, it's it's not then enabling you to make another move to get adjacent to a German unit, maybe. And this is the last free move we're getting with them. Well, last preservation move anyway we're getting with them. So it's maybe wiser to put them here, so that next turn you can get them along here. Yeah. There's nothing to say. Nothing to say that Ranger couldn't maybe try. I know I was talking about going into there, but I mean he could go up there and then into there. He gets a free move, could support the attack on that, possibly. So maybe it is better to... I suppose it depends on what's going to happen next turn, because all these moves are going to be actions next turn. There's no HQs or generals out yet, and we've not got any heroes, so they're limited, you know. Just wonder, it might be just safer having them sitting here for the moment. Where all we can get is disrupted. Actually, I think I might, just looking ahead there, it's not till turn 5, and obviously it'll not land till turn 6, so it is a good bit away. Yeah, maybe that is too far away. I'm talking about the HQ. The first HQ lands in here, and he lands in a D from a DW position, which is one of these 3. So, I mean, he could potentially be landing quite close to this hex. You know, you're like, again, you're limited to your actions. But there's still the other units landing, still quite a few infantry units landing that are going to just get free preservation moves, so yeah, I'm really not sure about this, but I actually do feel that this is probably this feels like the right move for me. I know it's taken the unit away from the action a bit, and I've already had it drummed into me a little that we do need to move. So, you know, it looks like my intention by putting them there that I'm just going to leave them sitting there. Well, what are you going to do with your actions, Grant? Yeah, and it doesn't quite coincide with this guy joining up with him though. Whereas it could there, because next turn this unit could move into here. Where, you know, what I mean is, if this guy was in here right now, then next turn I move him into here. Next turn this guy moves into here. So it's not as if they can go for the fight together with that one. But by putting them there, if I'm intending doing that, it's 2 actions to move along, so rather than just 1 if I move them to here right now. Seems like this shouldn't be taking you too long to decide, Grant. Okay, I'm going with that. This feels more right to me. But I can see it being argued either way, I suppose. What else we got? Well, now it's our actions, isn't it? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 tanks here. Well, one of them's full strength. Now, do we barrage a single brown position from here, or do we consider the double orange position? I think possibly going for the brown, and then again, if we manage to keep it kept down and we've got actions to spare, we can move that tank into there maybe next turn. He is a full strength tank, so our other two actions, well, I did think green would be worthwhile having a go at, and then, you know, possibly move in one of these tanks into, if we manage to put it down, you know. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to barrage brown, I think. See if we can make something of that, because we do have that big range infantry hopefully coming in here somewhere, which will be brown. So okay, so we get the chance of the symbol this time as well, don't we? Because it's not got depth. So yeah, so we can get brown or a triangle here. So let's go for that. Brown or a triangle. Oh, we've got the brown, so no triangle, but that's fine. Yeah, that's good then. Well, at least that ties brown down just now. And it wouldn't be a bad thing if it stayed that way next turn as well, I think. Of course, you know, if it means brown. Right, I just got cut off again there. Clearly going to still have issues with my recording skills. Okay, let's just carry on anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that if brown doesn't appear on the card, it means something else is firing, so there's a plus and a minus to that, isn't there? There's always a good and a bad. Okay, so we've still got two actions. Now, yeah, I think if we could put green down, then just probably use this tank here, try and put green down, then we can move one of these tanks into here, I think. Again though, problems are, you're needing an action next turn to... Oh, that's a thought. That's a thought that would need a rewind of this. I'm just thinking there, why don't I use my two actions to move both these tanks into here? Take a chance. Green is only a single. It's on its own, so even if it did fire, I would still get one tank through. But I'd need to change my thinking with this and move that maybe to here. Again, no new info. Well, okay, I disrupted brown, but that's hardly relevant, I don't think. Okay, I kind of quite like that idea actually, so I'm going to change my mind a little bit there. I'm going to preservation move this guy into this hex, and I'm going to use my second and third action to move both the tanks into that hex there. I don't need that other marker. Taking a bit of a gamble, but like I say, it does mean you're kind of forced to have an action to move these guys if they survive. But having the two tanks in there would be pretty good. The HQ is coming around this area come the time. And they're also out the low tide. Whether I should be caring too much about these things or not, I don't know. Right, you know what? I'm going to go with that. So, nothing else. Of course, right, hang on. Just let me... The other thing is, if I leave tanks in the roundabout this area where the HQ comes on, it does give them a chance to, you know, survive. because it's all about the amount of moves that you get, the amount of actions that you're getting. And this should be a beneficial turn. We're getting an extra action in each side, but am I making the most of it? Some of you may be shaking your heads. You know what? I think I'll go with that. The other, well, maybe that's not really relevant, is it? These can drift, and they could have stacked. They were only one-step tanks. It's not as if you got to maybe sometimes look at concentrated targets, you know, where things are going to move to. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with that then. I'm not 100% sure, but let's just go with that. Okay, so I think that's everything. I will go and sort things out. Okay, I still don't think I'm happy about this. So, hang on a second. Oh god, which one? Which one was which? Oh, I can't remember. I'm going to have to find out. Okay, just went and checked. That is the correct order. The triangle's there, the circle was there. Yeah, I just feel like there's a good chance of hitting green here, isn't there? But even with a 2 strength there, and so I might just readjust things again. I think my thinking to do that is because, mind you, what if green could stay down? You could just leave the tank sitting there, couldn't you? Yeah, okay, I'm going to change things. I'm going to move back to that, right? I'm going to use my second action to barrage the green, which is just a single position. So, the symbol's no good. But it's just the colour we need. So we just need green on the card here. Now I want to rewind again. That would be cheating, Grant. Grr. Oh well. I do need that action marker back then. So I suppose we'll just get to move one of them in. Yeah. Yeah, I'll move the triangle one because he's a wee bit, this one's a wee bit closer to where the HQ would probably arrive, so he might still get a chance to get out of the water. Yeah, we'll just put that in there then. Suppose we've still got this in safer hex, gives us a bit more time to, if we do survive here and we do take the action to move, that's going to be a debatable decision as well, and there's so many other things that we've got that we'd like to move. Right, okay, Grant. Right, that's everything. So I'll clear things up and we'll look at the final position. Okay, that's the card track cleared. Phase marker back, turn marker on to turn 4. All the units back. We've got some nice disruption there at the moment. Although it would have been nicer to have had this green down as well. In fact, I think we missed something else this turn as well, did we not, with our barrage? Because, maybe not. Right, okay, so I'm going to take a cut there. This will probably make the part 2, I think, because I think I've got a bit already, haven't I? If I recall. So, I'm not sure if I'll get back to any more action tonight or not. We'll see. Yeah, maybe a wee bit. I might do. Right, well, I'll be back with turn 4 sometime soon, guys. Okay, cheers.